Well, joining me to look at this now is Mr. Shobayo Modupe Johnson, who is the CEO, November's Farms. Thank you for joining me on the program. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me on the program.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've been following that development that is going on in Accra, Ghana. Well, according to the AfDB president, Akumi Adesina, he says the Africa can feed its own people, and indeed, we bring it back home. Nigeria has the capacity to feed its own people. Let's start from that statement. Can Africa or Nigeria, does Africa have the capacity to feed into own people?
Yeah, definitely. I so much concur with the president of African Development Bank, the person of Dr. Akumi Adesina. If you find out that in Africa we have over 65.
Oh dear. Not again, not again, not again. Looking at the fact that we're about to commence. Yeah, can you hear me? Well, I think we'll just have to take a moment. When we come back, of course, we'll look at this particular issue and see how we can reconnect back to our guest now. Take a moment. We're back. Please stay with us. Well, glad to have you. And now we have Mr. Shobayo Modupe Johnson, CEO of November's Farms. He joins us now. Thank you for joining us again. Yes, I was asking you, based on that statement that Africa does have a capacity to feed its own people. So, and you're trying to give us your take and what are some of these advantages that we have to produce our own food?
Yeah, thank you once again for having me. If you look at Nigeria, Africa as a continent, we have the land, and that's because 65% of our lands are arable. What does that mean? It means that it is good enough to grow food or no, whatever that we plant. Then number two, we have the population, so which means that when we grow, we have people that can do this. That's the growing or the planting of whatever food or crop that we feel we can produce. And then our lands are fertile. So those are some of the two contributing factors that portrays the fact that Africa and indeed Nigeria has the potential, to grow whatever food that we can eat.
But if you look at some of the issues on the table at the moment being deliberated or being addressed, the Ghana's annual meeting is the issue of climate and resilience as well, which is also about energy transition for Africa. But let's start from the issue of climate challenge that we have in Africa. How much of these are we addressing these, and how much awareness have been created so as to address this? Yes, we have the good weather, but climate change is a problem on the other hand.
Yes, prior to this time, Africa as a continent loses about between 7 billion to 15 billion yearly to climatic change. And then I'm so much glad that AfDB as an organization is really rising to this challenge. And that's why from this $1.5 billion investment that they want to put into agriculture or into the continent via the emergency food plan that they are having, chunk of that money is being projected, to be invested into climatic change. And then when everyone's talking of climatic change, they are actually thinking of providing farmers with fertilizer. So this will help, not just for the fact that we are fighting climatic change, but it will aid the production of food also in Africa.
Well, let's bring it home now in Nigeria. What advantage do we have? Yes, in the last, of 6 months, we've seen that the prices of food have skyrocketed. Especially if you look at wheat in Africa, it has increased by 45% since the Russian invasions of Ukraine. So how do you think we're addressing these, and how much of awareness do we have as regards this challenge facing us?
Well, it's so unfortunate that the war in Russia and Ukraine has really opened up some of the bad parts of Africa. It has exposed Africa, to the fact that we are not really prepared for this. And that's because over 30% of the wheat or the grains that we consume in Africa are being produced by Russia and Ukraine. To this end, I'm glad that AfDB as an organization has taken it upon themselves. They know the fact that Nigeria has a population, and that's why they are prioritizing Nigeria as one of the beneficiaries of this fund. And that's because they know that in Africa, as a continent, we eat most of our food, or most of the food that we eat per day, the calorie. We have wheat in it, and that's because most of us in Africa eat a lot of bread. So now what the African Development Bank has done is to make sure that a chunk of that money is coming to Nigeria, because they know that Nigeria has that arable land, as I said earlier on. And then we in Nigeria here, most of us, or we have chunk of Nigerian population that are interested in agriculture. On April 26th, when the president, that's Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the president of the African Development Bank, came to Nigeria, he met with the President Buhari, and they discussed at length. He promised some certain things, which give me the confidence that Nigeria will benefit immensely from this. But my problem, or my challenge, or my concern is how well will we utilize this as a nation, because the continent of Africa is looking up on Nigeria as a country. And that's why, just as I said earlier on, AfDB is really focusing on Nigeria, Nigeria, Morocco, and Egypt. Meanwhile, Nigeria is at the forefront, and that's why I'm very sure that Nigeria will benefit from this. And if Nigeria can take the bull by the horn, with this fund that is coming in, it means Africa will benefit immensely from this.
Well, talk to us. There are also challenges that we think we need to address. The issue of insecurity is there. The issue of lack of storage system is also there. The issue of yield is also there as well. Some people believe that we're planting, but the yield is not there. The lands are not yielding enough as it should. And so these are some of the challenges as well. Yes, we know that there are initiatives by the central bank. The Anchor Borrowers Program is there. And also to empower some local farmers. The Paddy Rice initiative is also there as well, and other programs are also coming on. But it seems that there are limitations to some of these programs as well. How do you think we can address it going forward? Hello, Mr. Modupe. Can you hear me? Okay. You heard my question.
Sorry, the line was breaking. I hardly hear you.
Oh, okay. I was asking you, though, that there are challenges that we need to address home front here. The issue of insecurity is there. No doubt the government, of course, is doing as much as it can to address it, but of course we still have it being recorded on a daily basis. We also have the issue of the fact that the land, we have the arable lands, but when the yield also is another challenge on one side. And thirdly, the issue of storage systems, silos, is also an issue, that some parts of the country are producing these commodities, but we do not have enough resources to to store them for the rainy days. How do you think we can address it going forward?
Yeah, the onus is now bestowed on the government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the security agencies, the Minister of Agriculture, to really tackle the insecurity that we are currently experiencing in Nigeria. Just as I said earlier, the AfDB, that's the African Development Bank, is really, should be commended for their efforts, in trying to resuscitate the agri-sector in Nigeria and by extension Africa. It has been projected that with this intervention fund that will be coming to Nigeria, about 9.5 million tons of food should be produced in Nigeria. But how can you project this if the security issue, is not well tackled? So I think there should just be genuineness of purpose here for tackling the issue of insecurity. I think the government should just meet with, because really Nigerian youth and adults are ready to work. And agriculture is one of the highest employer of labor in Africa and in Nigeria. So I think the government should do all it can within its power to tackle the issue of insecurity. And we Nigerians too should be well educated on the issue of security. Security begins with you and I. Then it should be your brother's neighbor, keeper or neighbor's keeper and this and that. So by extension, once I love you, once my neighbor loves me, I think there won't be all this issue of farm destruction and all that. So the government should meet with the stakeholders in this industry, in this sector, like the herders, the herdmen. Let them introduce and propagate the gospel of cattle ranching. So once your cattle are being... Hello?
Okay, permit me to quickly come in here. Of course, you are into livestock, no doubt about that. For some of you who are in this, how do you think we can also factor or consider smallholder farmers to fill in the shortfall, either in the immediate term or in the long term? Hello, can you hear me? Mr. Shobayo, can you hear me? Well, I'm sure we lost Mr. Shobayo there. I probably have to wrap it up at this point. Okay. Let's wrap it up now, Mr. Shobayo. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Let's wrap it up with this. For some of you who are just small farmers or smallholder farmers in this, in this category, how do you think we can factor, your category or, in this sector to us we're sure to fill in the shortfall in the immediate term? Because, of course, this is a long project, $1.5 billion US to address, the food crisis and some other challenges across the continent. Yes, it's huge, but we need to fill in the gap in the short term.
I plead with Nigerian government and then African government as a whole that with this intervention fund that will be coming from the AfDB, there should be, it should be intentionally, given to all these smallholders farmers like myself. Just as I said, for instance, million smallholders farmer that they want to empower during this wet season. So my plea is that let this money or let this fund go to the real farmer, not political farmer, not internet farmer, not political associate farmer.
Well, I guess probably we'll have to leave it there. Thank you, Mr. Shobayo. We'll have to bring you back next time. Shobayo Modupe Johnson is CEO November's Farms. Thank you for your time on Business Breakfast.